Good morning. Actually, I don't know what time you're watching this video. It might not be morning. Hard to tell. Today, I want to talk about when is the time to scrap it. When you've made every effort to make a product work, but in execution, it's just not that great. So this product, I wanted to go along with my cloudy cup holders, right? So we had the cup holders to hold disposable vapes, and then we were going to generate a product that clipped into your vent and held your disposable vape also, because, well, some people keep drinks in their cup holder. So I thought maybe that would be a good idea. So early versions looked like this, more rounded, and the clip was a bit shorter, and it didn't print well for a couple of reasons. I was using a 0.6 nozzle, I had a 2mm wall, I was only doing 2 wall passes. Things were looking a little funky, and it was printing a little weird. It was taking longer to print because it was doing some unusual motions. The clips were hard to install. It took some effort to install them because of the fact that they were 2 separate clips. So I actually went through, created, as you can see here, a unified clip. It's a single clip that would install in the back. It press fit, and then you put some CA in it to hold it. And that in itself is a bit questionable. Now I'm dependent on glue to hold the thing in place. My customer could break it. Let's be honest. This is the last prototype, what I would call the finished product. Let's see. It actually broke the whole thing before it failed. So I guess that's good news. And that took a good amount of effort. So that I'm not displeased with. But in execution, when I took this out to my truck, put it in the vent, and tried to put a vape in it, I realized that my dash had a bit of an overhang that overhung more than the vents. So even with a clip that was longer, it would engage, but it was still obstructed by the dashboard. And I thought, well, that's just my truck. So my wife shows up in her minivan. She has a Chrysler Pacifica. Let me try it in it. So she doesn't really have much of an overhang on hers either. On hers, I should say, a little bit, but not much. And it didn't work super well on hers either. See, these disposable vapes, especially the bigger ones, are kind of heavy. And I just didn't like how it worked. Now, I could still put that product out there, and people may still buy it. But at the end of the day, I feel like a large amount of people would be dissatisfied with their purchase. Not because the product didn't do what it was supposed to do, because it will. Not because it was poorly designed, because I believe it is well designed, but because in execution, it just doesn't work that well. They would probably want to stop using it just because it's just not that good. If you look at the cup holder is flawless. If you are willing to sacrifice a cup holder in your car, you can put your disposable vape in it and it will not go anywhere. It is executed great. This, I just didn't like. It never felt secure because it's clipped onto something that's supposed to move. It just was always kind of moving around, wobbly. I just didn't like it. Now, again, I could have just executed it, put it online. Some people may have bought it. Some people may have been perfectly happy with it. But I know that I have a feeling that a percentage of people wouldn't have been. So for me, I'd rather scrap a product and not have to worry about dissatisfied customers and just work on something else. This is still in the system. I haven't deleted it. I'm keeping it around. I may touch back on it another day. You never know. But right now, I don't feel like it's a great product to bring to market. So I'm just going to move on to something else. That's a hard thing to decide. You as a creator, just because you create something And just because it technically works doesn't mean that you should bring it to market. You should strive to bring the best product you can to market. And if it's not the best, then don't bring it to market. Just scrap it. Just move on. There are a whole other lot of things you have to worry about when you're trying to create a business online, trying to reach customers, just the plethora of marketing videos. You know, if you're doing a YouTube channel, there's a ton of stuff you have to worry about. And last thing you want to do is potentially put a product out there that people don't like. Now, I can use parts of this. This clip works amazingly. So, for future thought design products, I'm definitely going to incorporate this clip. I think the products have to be a little more lightweight. I don't think they should be as heavy as this was. And trust me, it's not that heavy. But once you I don't have a disposable. I have like an off stamp in front of me, which is not particularly a heavy one. But when you put one of those heavier, like the Geek Bar Pulse X in this thing, it felt like a lot of weight to hang off a vent. I just felt like it was a scrap. And sometimes, honestly, an honest review of some of the stuff you create, sometimes that's probably what you should do. Today's a short video for sure, but if you found some value in it, if you would give me a subscribe and a like, maybe even a share, I'd appreciate it. All right, guys, have a good one.